I think, honestly, let's try to break this lineup down a little bit, just because of how many things are unusual, right? We get an Anti-Mage against Silencer. We have a Wraith King first two. There's just a lot of unusual things going on. I feel like this game is a game that Anti-Mage will win if he gets 4 or 5 slotted. I just don't see Undying having very good tools to deal with him at all. Wraith King can be a bit of a wild card with the right items, but it's tough. Oh, hang on. That's MSS.
MSS gets caught by the Torrent, set up by the Wraith Fire Blast, and dies. First blood to Dubu. If only he had Glaives of Wisdom, he'd be snowballing already, Cinderin.
Even a $500 Mars loadout does not make you tankier against that gank, unfortunately.
$500. Wow.
But he could sell his items and buy dinner for 2 months. So that's kind of nice if it ever gets to that. Has some of the dopest stuff here on Mars. 2 Crimson Witness items. The shield and the spear. So it doesn't get much cooler than that. But yeah, just to try to simplify things a little bit, very good Anti-Mage game if he gets farmed. I think Global Silence is an insane ability for Undying, but it has a very long cooldown, and it's one of those abilities that you really need big value when you use it, right? Because when that is down, Silencer is not a particularly strong hero in this game. And as we already talked about, AM not the most countered hero. And Storm is also not countered by anything else. So once that's down, I think there's a lot of pressure on Dubu to deliver here. If Undying play a clean game and execute very well in their fights, I really like their chances. But let's see. I also think this top lane is going to be rough for them, actually.
Yeah, we can see the tag team doing a lot of damage to Arteezy. He just wants to get the mana drain off, but I think he got the worst trade here.
Why did Jerax wait forever?
Walk away. All right, he's continuing. That tower's going to get some hits, and Jerax actually gets the kill. But Arteezy does fall in the end to Saberlight's Swashbuckle. Interesting.
Yeah,
very interesting.
I wonder, did Jerax have any cooldown there? I'm just surprised that they let them both hit Arteezy for so long with tag team. If you Nightmare one of them, that's a long stun, because, yeah, the other guy can take it off, but then he's not dealing damage with tag team.
Right.
Oh, he's good at saving himself
again, this time onto Jerax himself. Looks like he'll live this time. He does have brains. He's level 2 before Arteezy, so he's going to have to get out of lane for a while.
It's good that he has brains.
Catch up.
That will come and help. Will be handy.
Yep, true. I mean, one thing we'll probably discuss later, but I'm going to mention now. You talked about how AM, the later it gets, obviously, the more impactful he'll be. And Global Silence will be less impactful, not only because of that Manta Cell, but because every neutral item dispels Global Silence once you get to tier 4s.
That's been a big nerf to Silencer for sure. The neutral items have really hurt him, I would say overall. There was a phase when Silencer was really good when he got buffed in lane, but then a couple of nerfs and he was back to not being so attractive of a pick anymore. And it's also just another thing about Silencer, the nature of the game, right? If you want to talk about neutral items, but let's just talk about like gold on the map in general, right? Heroes get farmed faster than they ever have. There's just more sources of income. Players have become more efficient. Bounty runes, farming triangle, stacking, all this stuff. It means that the carries of the game get that Manta, get that Lotus Orb, BKB, maybe 3 or 4 minutes earlier than they used to 2 years ago. And that just means global just falls off so much faster, right? Your timing window of the hero is so short.
I don't know if this makes him too OP, but I just thought of a solution to our issues here as AM, all right? Oh, a little bit of miscommunication again from EG. They Nightmare Saberlight, who is completely out of mana, but that means Arteezy is not going to do that much damage to them anymore. All right, what do you think of Silencer, Global Silence, having 2 charges, but they're only at like half duration each? Or even 25% duration each?
That sounds terrible. The 25%
so you pop it, you wait for the dispels that will come, and then you can
global them for 1 second after.
All right, whatever the percentage, really forget about the numbers. The concept is double charge, lower duration. It's geometry.
2 charges?
Yeah.
It's not the worst idea. I don't know how long they should last individually, though. But that would be...
That's the only question.
That would definitely be a much stronger version than the current one, that's for sure. I don't know. I'm trying to think of if there's some sort of way with like making it undispellable, but then last shorter or something like that. You know, if that's still too overpowered. Let's say instead of lasting 4.5, 525, 6, it lasted 3, 4, 5, but was undispellable. If that would be too good.
Yeah, undispellable sounds way too good.
But it's a 3-second silence on level 1. Like, how broken is that? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think you could tweak the duration then. But anyway. Lane's looking good for EG here. Top 3 last hitters on their side currently. So all 3 lanes are going the way they would like. Abed's going to even steal away a little bit of Bryle's small camp here, being very annoying. And take his bounty rune. It's about as bad as it can be for Kunkka on that wave.
People love using these Dragon's Blood anime voice lines, Cinderin.
Absolute shocker. Dota players like anime.
That's true. Can't wait for Dragon's Blood to come out very shortly, if it's not delayed again. Dubu actually going to TP mid. Oh, but he gets stunned by the cookie. And that means Bryle is going to take a tumble likely. As Abed, nice block. Has another static remnant. Okay, he doesn't actually die here.
Oh.
Ooh. Abed has to be careful now. Pops the fairy fire. Here comes the snowball. So enough time was created for Moonman to at least get into the fray. With that tag team is enough to get the kill.
Movement from Bryle.
Abed probably got very confident because they know that they canceled Dubu's TP there.
Yeah, Bryle also just kept moving around the creep wave in such a way that he couldn't get the static remnant down, and that was what he needed for the kill, so nicely done. Jerax will grab a kill top, however, with Moonmeander rotating mid, so it comes at a cost, but the Storm kill, very important for Bryle, who was falling behind. Getting level 6 before Storm now. 1 creep earlier. Storm is now 6. Moment of opportunity gone. It was there for about 2 seconds. But nobody was there to gank right then.
Oh no. If only Dubu had another TP. He does walk his way over to the mid lane, but I don't know what he can really do. I mean, if they get the perfect timing, maybe. There's the X with the Arcane Curse applied. Torrent connects. They're not going to use both, though, as Abed is last worded now. And he should be able to get... Nope, the bottom rune is being secured by Crit, but Dubu is making his way there. Abed will have to zip to get it, but double damage rune for him, so that's something to definitely fear in the next couple minutes. But for the carry, Tomato looks like he... I mean, he is top net worth, so tied with AM. As he's going for the old Armlet build.
I think when you go against Anti-Mage, you go Armlet, Deso, and Shard. So that when your teammates catch AM in anything, you have the physical damage to kill him off. Because your team is not going to do it. Kunkka inherently doesn't do very well against killing AM. Pango isn't very good at it either, like the panel talked about. So you really need your Wraith King to deliver that hardcore single target damage. And that's Armlet Deso. Silver Edge is an option as well to amplify your teammates, and then you can global. But you know Anti-Mage is buying Manta against it. So you got to consider what has the most...
Dubu TPing mid. Looks like the sleep is going to be applied to Bryle to start things off. There's going to be another TP of support coming, but Bryle is going to take the first death, and that means 2 supports left for Undying. And Moon Meander going to use that snowball, but will likely fall shortly after, so... Nice group up here from EG. I mean, you talked about how Kunkka doesn't do damage to AM, but it is a really good catch, right? I mean...
Yeah, as long as you X-Mark out of Fog.
Okay, Cinder, I've given you this trivia question before, okay? Let's see if you've listened. This was years ago, though. Okay. In Dota 2, as we're going to see top lane, Cookie.
Nice.
Saberlight actually dodges it nicely, but it's going to take so much damage from Little Shredder and Mana Void. And he's going to salve and be just fine. Dota 2, AM was, like the beginning stages, that is. AM was the carry, period. And they wanted to address the hero just by putting in new heroes from Dota 1, right? Because they only had like 15, 20 heroes.
My answer is Bloodseeker and Kunkka.
Damn it, Cinderin! How did you know? That's correct.
I watch Wheel of Fortune all the time.
The question was, which heroes did they implement to counter AM? As Crit getting snowballed. Nope, not going to connect by Moon. As he takes a tip now. But it's funny that Kunkka's not really considered an AM counter. At least not now.
Yeah.
But it's a good catch.
Obviously, Counterspell didn't exist back then. It was just a flat magic resistance, right? So you couldn't reflect the X mark. And that does make a pretty big difference. It is still one of the better catches. As long as you come out of Fog, you can set up for him. But... Oh. Dubu could be in trouble
Abed
here.
TPing. Yeah, zips on in. Zips on out.
Good torrent.
He's gonna get torrented. Moon Meander looks like he's resigned to his death.
That's a hasted storm. I can tell because he's really fast.
On Dubu. Yeah, he's got the red particles coming out of his butt as well. Oh,
Yep.
and gets X'd with a cookie, and is now taunting, and is now walking away.
Made sure to taunt over getting the range creep last hit. Right, Nightmare.
Motto is going to be found by Jerax, or is it the other way around? Wraithfire Blast is there. Crit making his way over as well. Looks like Tomato's going to give up, but the skeletons, will they kill Jerax, Synderen? Could they possibly?
He's fine.
I know.
Moon Meander.
That would
Bit
be
of a
pretty
roll.
funny.
It would. I feel
MSS
like
level 7 now.
this game is starting to stabilize into a similar state to last game. Arteezy is not as insanely farmed as last time. You know, Wraith King is ahead of him, and Arteezy has died once in the early trade, but is essentially being left to a free farm lane here. Pango is not going to pressure him enough. You will respect this rotation coming out from Bryle, though, so, you know, I might have to eat my words. They are addressing him a little bit. Good scan, though. Arteezy will just chill. But
Abed,
for the most
not
part,
going to get the
he's farming a
regen.
lot.
Good take by Moon. Got the fast fingers. As we do hit the level, or the 10-minute mark now. Saberlight has his Orb of Corrosion, trying to apply some pressure to this tower. And Arteezy, one of the few heroes that still buys Battle Fury. And we rarely get to see AM these days as well.
Yep.
Oh, Nightmare.
What is the plan
Mono.
here for Jerax?
He's burning away slowly.
Not dying, but
Looks like he'll live. Well, he got actually quite close. Shard's not going to connect. Oh,
Nice
zip
arena
in.
MSS.
Abed looks like he's focusing on Dubu as we have an arena in the jungle. Tomato right-clicking MSS, but you can see the Mortimer's Kisses from Crit doing quite a bit of damage. Tomato still has his second life to work with. Nice armlet toggling for him. MSS takes a tumble, so it's a 1-for-1. Crit has his cookie. Onto the low ground he goes. Actually gets the stun off on Bryle as well. He's going to continue to get chased. Shards, not going to block, but there's the Wraithfire Blast. Tomato. Oh, Moon Meander. Actually does end up going down here. Maybe not exactly what you expected, but Tomato at the very least getting some good form out of that.
oh, grip.
And we got the grip with Abed's initiation onto Bryle, but Abed pretty much out of mana. One static remnant to work with, and it's just enough to secure the kill. So 8-5 EG, but net worth relatively even as Arteezy's made his way to the bot lane now.
Yep. It's been a relatively quiet game. Oh, not gonna hit the spear there, MSS.
What is that? Unknown team.
It's
All
Team
right.
Unknown from
What
SA,
region
right?
is that? Oh, okay. And we have the sleep from Jax, but in the meantime, looks like Crit's gonna be taken out, but it'll be a trade for Dubu as Abed now gets the haste. So support for support, but they did find the Pango before that. And Arteezy, I mean, he's only a Claymore away from Battle Fury. He already has Treads and Wraithband. Not too shabby.
Yeah.
The Mono Company want to pressure this tier 1 tower. Looks like they'll get it.
Usually pre-Battle Fury, if both heroes are just farming, Wraith King will be ahead. So the fact that they're neck and neck is a good look for EG on the anti-mage here. Nice push from Undying, though. I really like that they brute force this tower down, taking advantage of EG's cooldowns. No grip, no Mortimer's Kisses. So at least they grab that. I wonder what their overall game plan is going to be now. If they're going to try to catch AM with Kunkka Tusk Silencer or something like this. Wraith King, for the most part, will want to keep farming and not be involved in kills until he has Deso. Moon's going to walk in for a pump. What was the plan?
Well, he's got Tomato by his side. Snowball is going to connect, but the Ice Shards does not block Crit in. Meantime, we have the arena. Bryle left to his own devices again by his team, and just wrong place, wrong time for him. Does get the boat off, though, and that is going to end up netting them at least Jerax.
That cost them Global, Boat, and Pango ult, though.
Yeah.
So I think EG... MSS fishing there. A little bit of spear fishing, not going to connect. Although, if it were to connect, I think Tusk would be a very realistic target for spear fishing.
True. Although he likes ice fishing more than anything, no doubt.
That is true. Don't you do that with a spear, though?
A spear? I guess it depends on where you're from, as there is the initiation on the MSS. So Undying sticking around and ends up actually working to their advantage here, as there's a smoke now from EG. Abed has to be careful. He's still trying to finish that Orchid. Just only 50 gold away. Does not want to die here.
Yeah. 300 mana to work with, so there is a possible setup here. Nice zip away will put Moonmeander in a very compromised position.
Yeah, that was a nice cookie, but now Crit finds himself in a compromised position as Tomato has made his way here as well, and it looks like Crit will fall as a result.
Bonk.
Boom.
MSS.
How about TP? MSS? No.
Goes for the spear fishing. Doesn't connect. Although, if you were to go spear fishing, I think a pig would be a pretty realistic target.
Boy, this sounds like a conversation we've had already.
Yeah, you probably don't remember the details from last time, so you think I said the same thing twice. That's okay. It comes with age.
It's similar, but slightly changed. MSS wants to try to defend this tier 1 tower, but Undying are doing a really good job of pressuring the towers at the very least right now. Grip. Oh, it actually will connect on the Saberlight, but he disengages with that distance, so they can't actually find the kill after the fact. Jerax, Nightmare into the TP. All right, he's just dead. Canceled and brought down. But on the other side, Crit finds his way towards Bryle and Tomato, who are left alone with no support nearby. And that is going to be a dead Bryle and likely Tomato to fall. Though TP or allies are coming and reincarnation is there, but here come the Mortimer's Kisses. All right, he gets the safety there, looks like. And they're going to be able to get the constellation kill on MSS, which is really nice, considering how that fight actually started. They walked across the entire map and still got there in time.
Yep.
Beauty of reincarnation.
It takes a long time to set that up, and the spear did not connect on the trees that MSS was hoping for, so Wraith King just got to run straight back in. But yeah, this is one of the other things about Global Silence that I think is we maybe don't talk about enough, is that it's actually, unless you have a very clear-cut way of using it, it's not an easy spell to use. And you might think, wow, this should be so easy to use. It's a global ability that silences the enemy team. How hard can it be? But you kind of want to use it so the enemy team commits spells that you then counter. But the problem is if you wait for those spells, if they come in quick succession, then the follow-up spell might have already been used and you look like a fool with your global. But if you cast it pre, they can just wait it out and then use their spells. So in that situation, I think he wanted to try to global after Arena, but the spear was already out. So then, you know, it can be really tricky to use it effectively. Nice grab here from Undying. Really like this play call. Getting the Roshan. These spells on cooldown from EG and their heroes.
Aegis to Tomato, so 3 lives to work with, although his ult is still on cooldown. By the way, Bryle is working, I think the Orchid is on its way. So last time he built Echo Saber and then disassembled. This time he just went straight up Orchid.
I don't think that was Bryle. I think that was Gunner.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
I don't think I've seen Bryle go that build, and it still puzzles me. I'm just not a fan of the Saber. I like Orchid first way more if you do want to go that route. Crit.
Crit's dead. Very, very dead. MSS in the trees. Oh, is he going to be spotted here? Snowball is available. Ooh. Yeah, they see him. Rolling Thunder. And then the vision. Night vision for the lose. There's a Global Silence, though, and looks like he's going to get connected on with nobody nearby, so MSS will die.
But they still kill
Bryle. Bryle dies on the other side of the map, and now Tomato getting surrounded, but of course has that Aegis. Abed, nice disjoint there. So Arteezy has Yasha. Obviously, Manta will be next, and that is, if history is any indicator, Cinder, that's when he will start to be more comfortable fighting if it feels like he needs to.
Yeah. I think for an AM in this game, you don't fight with Manta, to be honest, unless it's absolutely necessary. I think you just keep farming, get Scotty, I think after Scotty, you might want to start showing up. But the thing with Manta is you are still susceptible if you do get caught.
Orchid onto Moon inside the arena. They're going to get him at the very least. Saberlight stuck in here for now, but actually gets the Blink Dagger. Nobody even touched him during that whole duration.
Blink. but it's fine with haste. Tomato, though.
Tomato. His ult is up in 6 seconds and still has Aegis. He probably wants to use his ult first, still with 3 minutes to go on the Aegis here. His Nightmare's going to keep him in place. Saberlight has that Rolling Thunder. Looks like Jerax is going to be who they'll find. Eventually. Eventually, they do.
Yep. It's a pretty different playstyle the two teams are playing here, right? Undying are playing very much tight together as 4 or 5 heroes a lot of the time, and Antimage is just playing total classic split push. So effectively, if you don't keep finding kills on every move as Undying, you are just losing gold on the map. So it's very important that these moves are successful as they are. So that's good for them. But they aren't, from my perspective, really solving the biggest problem in the game. They keep finding picks on the Bane, they keep finding a couple of picks on the Mars here and there, a couple of on Snapfire, but Abed Storm is 7-1 and Arteezy is 0-1. So on the big heroes, they found 2 kills out of 14. And there's no... They're not really making progress... Oh, that was close. He will get out. They're not really progressing at shutting down the win conditions for EG. They're gonna find Jerax.
Yeah, EG trying to do their best to slow this game down just a little bit, but Jerax gets demolished, and the tier 2 tower looks to be next. Again, still with the Aegis online. Tomato feeling very comfortable just hitting this tower. Has the Deso now. Does not have Shard yet, but looks like Blink Dagger is what's queued up first.
Yeah, I think it's okay. You can wait with the Shard if you're convinced AM isn't joining fights anyway.
Saberlight looking to find Arteezy, but there's the... Oh my. All right, that was a little bit of early mana void for Arteezy. Not going to chase any further. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, looks like MSS is going to be found. Tomato, still Aegis, 1 minute. They're getting really good value out of this Aegis right now. He is tanking a lot of damage, it feels like.
Yeah, and MSS has been caught out quite a few times now. His item build is progressing very slowly. He's now been overtaken by Pango on net worth, who has 45 less CS. That's very telling about that.
Yeah, but I think the bigger deal is that Abed at 10.3k net worth and Bryle 8.4, so basically 2k behind. Pretty big deal.
Absolutely. And it's an Abed Storm. I haven't really talked too much about the fact that, I mean, many would consider this his absolute best hero. If he's having a good game on this hero, he has won many important, you know, high-stakes tournament games for EG in the past, as Storm at Majors and whatnot. So you don't really want to give Abed a great game on Storm if you can avoid it, but they haven't really been able to. They've only found that one pick, and the global sounds haven't really been used to try to kill Abed most of the time. This item will help,
it feels
though.
like the Orchid on Kunkka, I feel like was picked up specifically to kill Abed during this time, but Abed is only 200 away from finishing BKB.
Yep.
And they haven't been able to find him in that time period.
The blink on Wraith King is big, though.
Oh, they're going to find Bryle. There's the global silence to start things out. Arteezy. Looks like he's taking a lot of damage, getting completely stun locked here. Can't use his Manta either. He's actually going to be brought down here if he's not careful. He goes down inside the arena along with Crit. So miscalculation from EG. MSS will try to sacrifice himself to save everyone else, and it looks like he'll be successful. But 3 kills in trade for just getting Bryle, who, again, the net worth not anything special right now.
And that's the thing, right? You don't... That's my point. I don't think AM really wants to fight yet, even though you have Manta. It looks like a great kill. The global sounds very useful this time around in shutting down Abed before BKB. And this is just a wonderful area for Saberlight to fight in. Bouncing off the wall, linking back in, bouncing off the wall again. Excellent Pangolier play in that situation, getting 4 chain stuns on the AM.
I'm surprised they wanted to fight when Abed was only like 100 away from BKB.
Yeah, that would have been a big time. That whole situation is actually so different with that item. He could have saved Arteezy for sure if he just BKBs off the global and goes in. So, very, very true. Arteezy's now queuing up BKB, prioritizing that over Scotty, at least for now. This is a dead tusk.
Abed jumps in. He'll find a freebie. Onto Moon, pops the BKB. Looks like Bryle is the next target, but a nice rolling thunder from Saberlight. You can see the Mortimer Kisses coming from the right side as they're just focusing on Bryle, or at least Abed is. Not doing that much damage right now, though, because of that boat buff. Looks like they'll eventually find him in the end. And Tomato, he's getting his mana drained, and he's dead. Double kill for Abed. Arteezy joins the fight. No shard online yet for Tomato. Ends up costing him his life there. Does have it in his inventory now, though.
And the one surviving member of Undying did basically everything he could there, in my opinion, on Pango. I think he has to roll in the backline Snap and Bane to stem the bleeding, but it wasn't enough. Tusk already dead. You're 4v5 at the enemy outpost, and the Storm shows up with BKB. This is a very difficult fight to take. And this time around, the conditions for AM showing up are very different, right? No global, no Pango roll. They've already been expended, so now Arteezy can go in and be useful and confident and clean up these big kills. And he gets the streak on Tomato as well. 700 gold down his pocket. And he is still completing the BKB. I thought this kill might have actually changed his item build, but it's not going to. He will just follow through. BKB is now going to be 2 minutes away if he keeps up his GPM. And what do you do as Undying when these BKBs come out? Like it's tricky.
Yeah. Oh, we're going to see a smoke here now from Undying. Saberlight showed off that Blink Dagger last fight, but hasn't really progressed his itemization too much. Bryle also kind of been stuck in mud after that Orchid, only has the Ogre Axe, trying to go for an eventual BKB. Basically a recipe away, though, for him. But it feels like his itemization has been at a standstill for the most part. And then Tomato, we talked about the Blink, we talked about the Shard, and BKB is going to be next for him.
Wait, did Arteezy not see that Ops? He was literally right next to
Arteezy.
Oh, no.
Blinks in, has his Manta, and can't use it. Stun locked, 70 seconds.
Oh,
Dead.
no. He literally walked right over that Observer Ward that's next to a Sentry. Okay. Are they going to get added value here? Don't tell me they're getting both.
Storm, Abed pops his BKB. Looks like he'll live for now, but the Global Silence comes out, so he has to walk out awkwardly. Looks like he'll be fine, though. Zips away to safety. MSS, again, the sacrifice. So
right.
EG...
This is one of those situations
crumbling
where
a bit.
Player perspective would be really interesting on Arteezy there, because I think what happens, he's walking over a ward, right? But when you're playing anti-mage and you're split pushing, you don't keep your camera on your hero, right? You're like looking toward the next area you're going to, so he's literally walking through an Ops that's under a Sentry. I'll finish that thought in a sec. Abed,
Abed using the Orchid to high effect. The burn already occurred onto Moon Meander. They're actually going to use Crit's ult just to take him out. They'll be successful. Force Staff's to safety. Still has the Cookie to work with as well. Saberlight jumps in, though. Gets the shield crash off, along with the roll-up. You can see Wraith King has joined the fight as well. So at the very least, this will be a 1-for-1 trade.
Yeah, just to finish off my thought from before, now that things are calming down, what happens in this situation is you're walking over an Ops with a Sentry, but you don't see the Ops on the minimap because of your hero, and you're looking bot. So he just walks immediately straight through an Observer Ward that he has full vision of, blinks down, and the enemy team's obviously like, wow, freebie, right? The Sentry is specifically placed to give Arteezy safety there, but he doesn't see. You see this here, right? So it's just going to walk over this ward because he's looking bot. And if he looks at the minimap right now, he won't see that Observer because his own hero's arrow is covering it on that minimap. And now that he's down there, blinked into the camp, it's too late. They've set the trap, and they get the big payout. So unfortunate situation there, and a great, great punish from Undying. And with the map control they have now, Roche is definitely a possibility. Arteezy's BKB is online, though.
Yeah, BKB online, so that means it is fight time. And they're going to jump Dubu to start things out. He gets the glimmer off, but they have the vision. But nice stun from Tomato and company, jumping in with that Arena. MSS gets it off in time. They're going to lose the silencer, but buys back into the Global Silence immediately. Abed, again, walking it off, and they can't really use the Global Silence to full effect as a result. Jerax gets off the Fiend's Grip just in range, but still is taken out in quick fashion.
I think this is Roche Undying. Yeah. He does have Shard on Tomato, so you're not really too worried. You're going to find a DD as well, right? This is a Roche. Like, just go for it. No Arena, no Grip, no BKB on AM and Storm. This should be an absolute freebie. Wonder if you give the Aegis to Tomato this time, now that he has the Shard.
Yeah, I don't know. The problem is nobody else is doing that much damage for them. I guess Bryle's starting to catch up a bit. I would assume Bryle takes this Shard. Yeah, so he's going to have Tidal Wave to work with.
I find
Wraith King
Tidal
already
Wave,
has his, Pango already has his, and the rest are kind of meh.
would you agree this is one of the hardest single spells to use in the entire game?
Yeah, it can screw things up for you, for sure.
I think it's very difficult to use Tidal Wave. Like, theoretically, the spell is incredible, but there's just so many things that can go wrong that usually players will opt for using it in obvious situations. But theoretically speaking, you could do some really cool combos with that and Torrent, with like zone control, etc. Oh, good Orchid.
Oh my god, Abed.
There it is.
Abed gets crushed in the midst of his own tier 3 tower. No buyback.
Uh-oh.
As Undying. Looking very strong now as a couple of huge blunders from EG, both from Arteezy and Abed.
This is a full lane. They can't
Gonna end up costing them a Rax.
Yeah, no chance. They might even lose top as well. 1 full minute, you're fighting against Aegis. Both your Bane and Snapfire are super vulnerable to getting jumped by Tusk and Wraith King and Pango. I think you just keep going if you're Undying. You don't need to be scared of anything here.
I mean, theoretically, they can get Megas because there are no outer towers, but Storm should be up for that 3rd Rax if they're going to actually give this one up. No contest.
That was not how I thought this was going to develop with that Aegis. I thought they were going to have to fight hard for it to try to barely break the base, but that pick on Storm.
All right. They get rid of the reincarnation, but still Aegis to work with. We'll see if that ends up being worth it or not. X marks. Wow. A lot of little cookie slash tumbler toy usage on Jerax is going to save him. And this is just delaying, and Storm's going to be up in 5 seconds. I don't even know if they're going to get this full set of racks or not. Doesn't look like it. Let's see if Arteezy wants to come back to base. Another nice 4-set from Crit. Here comes Abed jumping in and out. Gonna focus on Bryle to start things out. Looks like they'll be successful, although Snowball gonna save him for now. But he's gonna be brought back into harm's way potentially. The boat comes offline, but not gonna be enough to save his life as Saberlight looks to be next in the trees with that Orchid applied and a Mana Void used to a high degree. I cannot believe Undying didn't get the 2nd set of racks. Incredible.
Yeah, they spent so much time chasing that Bane kill, and that's, you know, in hindsight, it's easy to say don't do that, but from the perspective that they were looking at it, they could have killed him in 3 seconds, right? And it's just a free pick into more racks. But a really great play from Jerax and Crit to just keep that Bane alive for so long. And then Undying were caught in an awkward limbo, right? Because they're so deep in there with Kunkka to use the Tidal Wave. You're going to see that here, right? So it goes for the X-Torrent combo. Nice toy into Cookie, all the way into Fountain. They're like, okay, it's too far. Then he's going to shove him out with a Tidal Wave. Timado was not ready for this, or he kills him there. He didn't realize that they were going to go for that. And now he's Nightmared in the base, and Storm spawns now. Bryle sticking around here, I think, is the crucial mistake. Like, Storm has just respawned. You can't go for this. Yeah, immediate punish. Global and live.
They're going to find MSS. Down he goes, but at the very least, EG will get a tier 1 tower in the top lane. Only their 3rd tower of the game so far, as Undying are now smoked. And Aegis still online for 1.5 minutes, and Reincarnation is back again. So Tomato is going to be completely ignored in all likelihood in these fights for the next minute or so.
Using Pango ult in smoke, but not going to find anything here. And Arteezy is going to finish Butterfly. So not so sure about it this game. I think last game it was an awesome pickup. Here it's a little bit... It's good if he gets into the type of fight against Wraith King that he's obviously looking for with this, but for other situations, something like a Scotty can be a safer route.
We do have an Ags on Abed, though. Electric Vortex will have AoE potential. Doesn't want to show himself. Not sure if they clicked him or not. So still Ags reveal potentially there. Torrent's going to connect MSS with a nice arena onto 2. You can see the tidal wave coming out as Arteezy pops the BKB, but MSS gets deleted within his own arena. Arteezy going in very deep. Nice Manta, though, along with the Spell Shield. Abed yet to actually use Vortex.
Yeah.
We'll have to get his mana back here.
EG did not get the connection they were looking for in that arena. He gets the 2-man arena, but the Spear misses and the BKB comes out. Well, that's a good one, though.
Electric Vortex onto 3, into the Scatters, into a beautiful Cookie as well, into a huge Mana Void. Bryle looks to be dead along with Moonmeer, and that is the first life, though, of Wraith King. Tomato doesn't have Aegis. In 3 seconds, it's going to go out. They had to wait 3 seconds. Oh, they don't wait! So the Aegis gets consumed, but they're going to surround him again, so it might not matter in the end. He's going to pop his BKB and attempt to TP out. Looks like he'll be successful, as Dubu will be able to TP out as well. That was, I think, a second away, Cinderin, from going out.
And it did look like
Insane.
Arteezy was playing for it, right? Like he was trying to wait for it. Let's see the replay here. So 4-3. He is stopping his attacks here, right? He's waiting a little bit.
Yeah.
1. Yeah, he's running ahead of him, waiting.
Oh my God. Oh, that was so close.
If they would have ignored him for another 2 seconds, they win that fight hands down. Like they actually saved him,
100%.
basically. Oh.
But it did cost them a BKB charge at the very least. That was the 9-second one, so. EG now
with BKB, or
in
with
enemy territory for the
damage.
first time in a long time. And here's the Rolling Thunder trying to stun lock. Arteezy still fine though, gets Cookie to safety. Abed deep as well. Looks like EG want to disengage now that Saberlight's ult is running out. Maybe they re-engage. DD on AM. And EG somehow not losing this game, Cinderin. It's very even in terms of net worth. Looks like Satanic is next on the list for Arteezy.
Yep.
There's the X.
Cookie
Into enemy territory again, but Manta's off everything. And they're going to focus on Bravo. The nice save, but a beautiful stun from Abed again on several here. This Aghanim Scepter on Storm is unbelievably good. Moomian getting chased down with the Orchid. You can see the buyback onto the Pangolier. Crit, very low. Jerax getting off the Fiend's Grip for very high duration on Tomato. Doesn't have a second life to work with, but they're going to focus on Pango instead. That is a dieback for Saberlight. Such a good save from Moomianer, but the follow-up stun from Abed was god tier.
That looked like such a grief cookie too. Crit through Arteezy into the entire enemy team, but it's hard to say whether that was bait or just adjustment on the fly. That does not look purposeful there, throwing him in there, but gets the BKB off, and that is like a 4-man vortex in the arena with Snapfire ult. Like you said, the only reason this isn't a total travesty is the snowball. But they still end up paying a lot for that fight. Wow.
Now EG, despite being a full set of racks and a range racks down, have the lead for all intents and purposes.
Yep.
Arteezy will be finishing Satanic soon. I assume buyback's going to be pretty important for him, so wants to save up. Abed looks like Bloodstone is next on the list for him. Tell me about Bloodstone these days. Like, obviously back in the day, you wanted to get it early to get charges. Is that like not nearly as important anymore?
I think it depends on the game. It's just not as attractive an item as it used to be for sure. And what Storm's usually up to go for is more of a tempo controlling build where you get either the Orchid or you get Kaya Sanj. So you're, in a way, Kaya Sanj doesn't make you much tankier than a Bloodstone does, but it gives you the status resistance. And what you're susceptible to a lot of the time a Storm is getting chain stunned until you die, right? So that status resistance just a lot of the time has more value than a Bloodstone. But when you're this farm and you go later in the game, the mana regen obviously becomes amazing. I think it's between that and a Hex I would like to see him by here.
My arena initiation. Abed jumps in. Another great, beautiful stun again with the Mortimer's Kisses. And Undying lose 2 instantly, including the first life of Tomato, attempting to get out of dodge with that BKB, but the Fiend's Grip cancel is there. And Undying falling apart now as EG are definitely in a major lead here, but double kill from Crit as well. Triple kill for Crit of all heroes. Into Roche they go. Refresher Shard available for the taking.
Yeah, Jerax gets the grip off before Global. They have to protect Wraith King's TP out with Global. That's very easy to say. Again, it's one of those situations. It's not easy to make that decision in the heat of the moment for Dubu, but nice try from Saberlight. It's going to cost him his life. Did he get something?
Don't think so.
Was that a
Definitely
shard?
not the Refresher Shard,
No.
Cheese, or Aegis. So unless Roshan's packing something new, Cinderin,
He didn't get anything.
it was a failed attempt.
Yeah,
Oh, that's interesting. Aegis on Arteezy. Is that, I mean, at this stage, maybe it doesn't matter that much, but obviously Storm is just the creme de la creme Aegis carriers.
Yeah, he has the cheese, though. As long as he doesn't get chain stunned, that kind of works the same for him, right? Just refilling the mana pool. I think it's okay to split it like this. AM can play very aggressively. But yeah, you're really seeing a problem with the nature of Undying's lineup against Storm at this point, right? All of their heroes are melee, except Silencer. So they naturally come in close to connect on kills, and that just gives Abed these easy 2 to 3 hero vortexes that he keeps finding over and over. Because how else are Undying supposed to set up kills? Wraith King has to go in with Tusk, likely with Kunkka as well. And if they're not BKB'd pre, that's what's going to happen.
Dubu is going for the 2 charge strat center that we were talking about earlier. Of course, it cost him about 6K to do so. But he's only 400 away from finishing, or 300 away from finishing Refresher.
Yeah, that will help. Unfortunately, it looks like it may be too late.
Possibly. I mean, they still have all their racks to work with.
Maybe.
Oh, yeah, that's...
He's not dying.
They don't see him. Dubu TPing out. We'll be fine. Meanwhile, bottom lane, Jerax gets off the Fiend's Grip, but there's the Global Silence to cancel. So EG lose the 1 support. And looks like they're just going to back away now. As I say that, Arteezy going in. Tries to counterspell off that Wraith Fire Blast, but it is canceled several times. Moon Meander getting jumped by Abed. And Snowball, a nice Vortex again from Abed onto 2 heroes into the huge Mana Void again. EG with the Wombo combos all game. And Tomato, the lone remaining member of Undying, able to TP out somehow, but it comes at a dear, dear cost.
They just have so much damage in that Vortex with AM. Gotta get an immediate replay of that here. So it's not even the initial play, right? It's here, it's the follow-up. And there is a snowball, but there's no way for Moonmander to bring them into the ball. He's on the right and they're on the left. He can't connect.
Oh, they're just going for Throne. And it's really sad because Silencer has Refresher in his inventory. They're going to focus on poor Tomato, who doesn't even have Reincarn to work with. And that should do it. 2-0 victory for EG. Very entertaining game number 2. Quite back and forth. Undying played extremely well, but a couple of mistakes here and there. I mean, both sides did make their fair amount of mistakes, to be fair, but EG able to capitalize a little bit better, especially with the Ags time.